Hello everyone. Today I'm gonna present the abstractive summarization for the Ukrainian language multitask learning with Hromadske.ua news dataset. I'm Svitlana Galeshchuk and I present West Ukrainian National University as well as Arval BNP Paribas. With the advancement in AI methodology and NLP, large transformer models have pushed the boundaries of text generation, including the creation of document summaries, which is a growing area of interest for academics and practitioners nowadays. The paper aims to address main challenges for abstractive summarization in Ukrainian by fine-tuning the multilingual T5 transformer on a corpus that includes training data for both summarization and text similarity tasks. By doing so, the model is better able to capture the essence of each news article and generate higher quality summaries in Ukrainian. And it constitutes actually the second objective that you see on the slide. The paper also introduces a new dataset of Ukrainian news articles that can be used for further research in abstractive summarization, and it constitutes the first objectives that you can see on the slide. Abstractive summarization is a task that involves automatically generating a summary of a document while retaining its main message. It was to mention the main challenges in abstractive summarization that include the question how to evaluate the summary, as often there is no single correct summary possible. We use rouge metric in our study to ensure the coherence with other papers, but this measure has many drawbacks. The abstractive summarization need to ensure that the generated summary is factually accurate and does not contain any misleading or incorrect information. Another key challenge in abstractive summarization is ensuring that the generated summary captures all the important details from the original text. And of course, while it's well known that information distortion is an issue for the English language solutions, it may be even more pronounced for Ukrainian, as there are no regionally monolingual sequence-to-sequence transformer-like models developed so far, limited number of datasets in Ukrainian for training and fine-tuning such kind of models, and the quality of produced summaries by available multilingual models is somewhat lower than for many other languages included in such models. We use MT5 model as its training forces transforming multitask learning into fine-tuning on mixture of datasets with the same text-to-text objective. Thus, after pre-training, the model is further fine-tuned on a mixture of tasks in a sequence-to-sequence manner. The output is always a string, even in case of quantitative values. This unified text-to-text approach in multitask learning is actually a key element in our study, as we mix summarization dataset with summaries as target, together with the articles and titles from the same dataset with the word similar as an expected output. Here on the slide you can see this approach, visualization of this approach on the figure, together with a small introduction of the T5 model itself. As I've previously mentioned, we consider two downstream tasks for further training. So they are summarization task and similarity task. You see on the slide the figure with an example of the input for fine-tuning as a mixture of these two tasks. So if we come back to the summarization, here we used an article as an input and the summary as a target with the prefix summarize that gives the idea for the model what it has to do with the input, and the similarity task where we use the same set of articles which will be the sentence 1 for us, together with the article title, which is sentence 2, and the target for the model is the word similar, the string подібні, which is the Ukrainian version. So what is the input data set for our model? We use around 36.5 thousand articles collected and filtered from the website Hromadske.ua for the period from September 2018 to June 2021. The total corpus shared by the UberText initiative with us for this setup contains many other sources, including Ukrainska Pravda and Union. However, the task of automatic distinguishing of a summary from an article for most of these sources is quasi impossible. In contrast, many articles from Hromadske.ua have consistent editorial structure that you can see on the slide. We usually have 3 parts for each article. The first part is a summary itself that we are using as a target for the first downstream task. And then part 2, that is in English, translates as this is plus an official source. For example, this is reported by the Mariupol City Council. So this part 2 actually makes the boundary for us between the part 1 summary and part 3, the article itself that we're using as an input for the summarization. Some pretreatment has been introduced, so we've decided to follow the original setup in the paper that presents T5 modeling by lowercasing text before using it. We decided not to use the titles with the numeric values as it poses and adds additional complexity to the experimental setup, and I discarded title summary near duplicates. Here we see also the topical distribution for the news articles that we have. Mainly they are speaking about the politics, but there are also other topics presented as sport, culture, and science. The main metrics used are the Rouge 1, Rouge 2, and Rouge L, longest common subsequence metrics that are well established in scientific community metrics for abstractive summarization. The training validation tests are coming with the ratio 80 to 10 to 10. So this slide with a table inserted concludes the empirical findings on test split while comparing the baseline, which is column 1, the training with only article summary pairs with Hromadske.ua dataset, which is column 2, and training with article summary and article title similarity test split that's presented in the column 3. We see in all the setups that with 2-task modeling fine-tuning shows better performance in all of the cases. The values are usually more important with Rouge 1 and 2 grams scores rather than Rouge L. To finish the presentation, I invite you to check out and test 2-task and 1-task MT5 fine-tuned models that has been presented here, and I hope it's going to be useful for you in your future research. I thank you for your attention.